rankings. And going into that Ruiz fight, he looked to be in the most comfortable place in his career. He was on a roll. He had won 7 in a row by knockout. And now Grimsley with the first punch. And that looks like it is it.
Why is the referee counting? You don't have to count on that. This fight is over. The referee counted him out. It's all over.
I'm going to be talking about the 5 fastest knockouts in boxing history. These knockouts happened in a matter of seconds and left fans stunned at how quickly the fights ended. Daniel Jimenez vs. Harold Guiller, 1994. On March 26, 1994, a boxing match between Daniel Jimenez and Harold Guiller took place in Germany. Jimenez was a young and promising boxer from Puerto Rico, while Guiller was a journeyman fighter with a record of 4-4. The fight was not expected to be particularly noteworthy, but it ended up being one of the fastest knockouts in boxing history. The fight began with both boxers circling each other in the ring. In just 17 seconds, Jimenez landed a right hand that caught Guiller on the temple, knocking him out cold. It was a shocking knockout and helped to establish Jimenez as a promising young talent in the sport. He went on to have a successful career, winning several championships in his weight class. Zolani Patello vs. Sakanya Matlala, 1997.
Ladies and gentlemen, 12 3-minute rounds, and this is the WBO Bantamweight Championship of the world.
Zolani Tete, Richie is looking here to lay down something of a stake.
1997, a boxing match between Zolani Patello and Sakanya Matlala took place in South Africa. Patello was a skilled boxer with a record of the 2nd of February 15, while Matlala was a journeyman fighter with a record of 7-3. The fight was not considered to be particularly noteworthy, but it ended up being one of the fastest knockouts in boxing history. The fight began with both boxers coming out of their corners. In just 6 seconds, Patello landed a powerful left hook that connected with Matlala's chin, knocking him out cold. It was one of the most impressive knockouts in boxing history and helped to establish Patello as a rising star in the sport. He went on to have a successful career before retiring in 2003. Mike Collins vs. Pat Bronson, 1947. On April 15, 1947, a boxing match between Mike Collins and Pat Bronson took place in Memphis, Tennessee. Collins was a promising young boxer with a record of 12-1, while Bronson was a journeyman fighter with a record of 5-5. The fight was not expected to be particularly notable, but it ended up being one of the fastest knockouts in boxing history. The fight began with both boxers circling each other in the ring. In just 4 seconds, Collins landed a right hand that caught Bronson on the chin, knocking him out cold. It was one of the most surprising knockouts in boxing history and propelled Collins to greater fame. He went on to have a successful career before retiring in 1951. Al Bummy Davis vs. Ralph Tiger Jones, 1947. On February 5, 1947, the Madison Square Garden was the venue for one of the most shocking knockouts in boxing history. Al Bummy Davis, a Jewish-American boxer, was set to take on Ralph Tiger Jones, an African-American boxer, in a welterweight bout. Davis was known for his powerful punches and impressive knockout record, while Jones was considered to be the better technical boxer. The fight began with both boxers coming out aggressively. In just 2 seconds, Davis landed a right hand that caught Jones off guard, knocking him out cold. It was the fastest knockout in boxing history at the time and stunned the crowd at Madison Square Garden. Davis went on to have a successful career, while Jones continued to fight for several more years. Jimmy Thunder vs. Crawford Grimsley, 1997.
Instructions. Let's have a good, clean, professional fight. Punch a little high here. I'm not going to call that low right on the belt, okay? Let's have a good, clean fight. Touch him out and come out with the belt.
James Thunder is now ranked number 16 by the WBC, dropping 3 spots since the loss to Ruiz. He was ranked number 12 by the WBA, and he has completely fallen out of those rankings. And going into that Ruiz fight, he looked to be in the most comfortable place in his career. He was on a roll. He had won 7 in a row by knockout. And now, Grimsley with the first punch. And that looks like it is it.
Why is the referee counting? You don't have to count on that. This fight is over. The referee counted him out.
James Thunder, known as a quick starter, but we didn't think it would be that quick. Said he had to come up with something very big, and I think he did in record fashion. James Thunder, first punch, cracking Crawford Grimsley. It is over in a hurry. Concerned James Thunder.
Yeah, he's still punching, still trying to fight. Crawford Grimsley is confused. He's not quite sure what he's supposed to be doing. He's got his hands up. He thinks the fight is still going on. Here's what happened. Boom, no, right on the side of the head, the very first punch. You land the first punch in a fight. Don't go out there and mess around. Correct. Dragging the jab back. Look how relaxed Grimsley is all the way down to the canvas. And the fight
on December 16, 1997, the Foxwoods Resort Casino in Connecticut was the site of one of the most jaw-dropping knockouts in boxing history. Jimmy Thunder, a heavyweight boxer from New Zealand, was set to take on Crawford Grimsley, an American boxer, in a fight that was not considered to be a high-profile match. Thunder was known for his hard-hitting punches, while Grimsley had a good record of knockouts. The fight began with both boxers coming out of their corners. In just 1.5 seconds, Thunder landed a massive right hand that connected with Grimsley's chin, knocking him out cold. It was one of the most shocking knockouts in boxing history, and Thunder set the new record for the fastest knockout in professional boxing. Thunder continued to fight for several more years before retiring in 2002. In each of these fights, the experts did not expect a particularly notable outcome. None of the boxers were considered to be at the top of their weight class, and the matches were not high-profile events. However, each fight ended with a lightning-fast knockout that stunned the audience and set a new record for the fastest knockout in boxing history. These knockouts are a reminder of the unpredictable nature of boxing and the power of a well-placed punch. While many fighters may have the skill and stamina to last multiple rounds, all it takes is one quick strike to end the fight and cement a boxer's place in history.